Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
Todd, tonight I think we did everything apart from winning the game tonight. How was it for you?
Yeah, I agree with you on that statement. I mean, I think that we played well tonight. And I told them that in the dressing room. Just a little insight to what we've discussed, over the last week or so and leading up to this game in particular. It was our work ethic and our body language out there, because I think that when you're not having a successful season in the eyes of many, including ourselves, it's very easy to read your emotions or display your emotions out there. And you could see at times it almost looked like we were sitting on the bench huddled up waiting for something bad to happen. And we really had to manage them closely tonight, because when, it was just my opinion, I thought we were playing the stronger game of the two teams for big portions of that hockey game. But we ended up down a goal, and it took a late goal to tie it up. And they stayed buoyant. So we've been in that position many times, but tonight we were successful. But I think that they did have that spark tonight. They did have that get up and go. And I thought that was a completely different team that we watched play tonight. And really, that's what I want as a coach to see on a regular basis. I'm sure the crowd will agree with me. And obviously the guys are incredibly frustrated by not scoring a power play goal. And I think at times this year, the power play has looked very pedestrian and unimaginative. I think tonight, how they were playing, we did everything but score. We had some great opportunities on net. We had great zone time. They were moving the puck. We broke in well. But you can't all of a sudden turn it on and play the right way and expect it to go magically the way you want it to happen. This is a process. They were told that after this game. And tomorrow is arguably going to be a tougher game of the two, and they have to find a way to pick themselves up. They can be disappointed in that room, but they can't be down on themselves because they played well tonight. And ultimately, I think that that's what everybody wants.
I mean, how do you go on from here? I mean, obviously we've got the performance that we want to see, the crowd want to see. So how do you go and build that momentum from that performance?
Well, you're right, and I mean, I think that it is a process, because it's been very frustrating from a coach's point of view, from a player's point of view, and we certainly know from a support point of view. And we talked a lot about the mentality of, when you accept the accolades, because a lot of players have been around when magical things have happened over the course of a season, and in this building in particular, and it always seemed like we had that little extra something when we needed it. At times that's been lacking this year. And so when you accept the accolades, you have to also accept when people are being harsh and critical of you. But you can't take it personal, because a lot of things are said by a lot of people, and they don't know the ins and out process and what guys are going through. And it's great to have these opinions, because ultimately, we're all in this together. We can't survive without the crowd. The crowd wants their hockey team here in town. Everybody's working towards everything in the same direction. And this season hasn't gone particularly the way that it has gone for us for the last, 7 or 8. But if we remember, we've gone through hard times in those seasons as well. But when we come out on top, or come out positively towards the end, that's what people focus on and remember. And this is the first time that we've popped out of the playoffs in a long time. I think we're down out of the playoffs by a point. It's important to recognize that. And now we've put ourselves in a position where we have to come out of a corner, and we have to come out fighting. We can't meekly accept that. And, it's going to take everybody pulling in the same direction.
One other positive from tonight, we've seen Chase Shaber back in the lineup. What kind of difference do you think he had to that performance?
I think not only was it a boost for the guys mentally, to see him back on the ice alongside of him. He's an impact player. And you could probably tell from watching, he's not fully game ready and not fully confident just because he's only been practicing for a small portion of time. But me and him had very good communication on the bench. I was very weary of overplaying him, and I didn't want to get in a position where I fatigued the injury to the point that he ends up injured again. And I know that, he was hurting, but he's a competitor and he wanted to be out there. So I think that having Chase Shaber in our lineup, whether he's at 100% or not, he has an immediate impact in our lineup, and I think people can tell that.
Moving on, we'll go to Cardiff tomorrow night. Against probably them and Sheffield seem to be pulling away from the pack, so it's going to be another tough game for that tomorrow.
Yeah, a team that is always up near the top of the table, and they're up near the top of the table for a reason. Last time we went down there, very short-handed, and we played very well. I think they scored a late one, it's going to take that type of performance and that type of grit and drive. It's a long bus trip, but these guys know what's out in front of them and know what kind of performance they're going to have to bring tomorrow.
Do you have a little words as well about the noise that the crowd brought tonight as well in the game?
Yeah, but I've said this all year, and I've said it not only in these interviews but in the change room as well. The crowd will react when they're watching what they want to see. No, they didn't want to see a loss tonight. I know that. We didn't want to lose the hockey game. But they saw a team play with a drive and passion that they want to see on a regular basis. Hell, I want to see that on a regular basis. And I think they have a lot more fun when they play like that on a regular basis. And you know what? You can lose your way over the course of the season, and you can get down by negativity, and you can start blaming things other than yourself. It's about taking personal ownership and owning your shortcomings and fighting your way out of it and starting off this new year in a positive fashion. It's not the positive start that we wanted, but it's certainly a step in the right direction.